Welcome home, Rep Pack Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons, and welcome to another flea market video. Today is going to be insane. We got some incredible Nickelodeon merch, some stuff we've never found before, an actual piece of a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant, some vintage Pokemon cards. I cannot even name everything that we found today, but we will be checking it out right now. We are walking into the flea market, as you can see, and the hunt is about to begin. We are going to be looking for all the things that we love here, anything nostalgic, but of course I like to focus on things in regards to animation, whether it's some stuff to bring back to my collection or some stuff for us to sell over on our eBay shop or whatnot stream, so we can use those funds to come right back here to make these videos possible and add new stuff to the collection. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it, and let's check out the first booth we went to. Okay, so pulling up to our first booth, I'm not sure if I picked up anything. As usual, I get here at like 4 or 5 in the morning, so it can start off kind of slow because people are barely getting set up. But I saw this awesome like wooden tiki here. From what I felt, it didn't feel like it was real, but I don't know what a dried like palm tree actually feels like. I know what a live palm tree feels like, but give me very much like Spongebob tiki, like Squidward's house vibes. And then over here they had all these cars, they had a bunch of Funko Pops, but many of these were like ones that I had already looked through before. My friend Victor's over there on the left. You guys have seen me talk to him quite a few times. We're checking it out, but again, it's a lot of old Funko Pops, a lot of live action stuff, nothing too rare at all. So this booth is the one right next to it. I saw these Funko Pops. Again, it depends on the Funko Pops. I will pick them up. So I saw the Yami Yugi one. That's something that we would bring over to my whatnot stream. We love that kind of stuff, like nostalgia, especially like anything like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. I saw this Beetlejuice Funko Pop. I checked him out. He was going for around like 20 to 25 bucks. So I decided, why not grab him? He was only asking $5 a pop on them. And then I saw this Handy Manny.
Hola, Kelly.
Oh, hi, Manny.
Hi, Mr. Lopard.
Oh, hello, Manny.
Brand new in the box. I mean, you would have to sell this as used because it is definitely open, but he has all the tools, all the pieces to him, and it's a pretty rare figure. So I grabbed this one and we checked out that one, and we'll add that to our pile. We'll be checking out all the stuff that we pick up as we go throughout this video, probably once we get a good amount of stuff together, see what the price is, and then continue on the hunt, and we'll do it in little segments. Okay, so walking right across the street, I actually saw a little clock. Zoom in, Ryan, the clock. I saw this one. I was like, okay, we got to stop here and check this out. So I took a look real quick.
1, 2, 3, 4.
How much are you guys asking for the clock?
$3.
$3? Take it.
It's 9 o'clock. It's mail time. Mail bin.
So you can see I grabbed a few things there. I grabbed the Ariel music box and also this glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein. I thought it was called a Moldorama or Moldomatic for a second, but I don't think that's what it actually is, but it was really interesting, so I grabbed it. But as soon as I found out that TikTok the clock was $3, that was a signal to me that you better start looking a little bit deeper because she's gonna have some good prices. I don't see this lady here very often, or actually I've never seen her there before, so she more than likely is somebody who's just getting the booth to let go of a lot of excess stuff in her house or maybe a garage. So she's just trying to sell stuff at a cheap price to get it moving comparatively to some of the vendors that are, maybe they're doing it full time, so their prices are a little bit more competitive. So I started looking and we found some amazing stuff, and I picked up some of my first ever clothing items, which is very rare for me to grab, but you guys are gonna like what I grabbed, I think. So after I paid for that, I looked through the shirts here. I saw this like Killer Clowns one. You guys that are like t-shirt or clothing people will probably know what I passed up and I should have grabbed. But I did grab some stuff that I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm looking through them. I see a lot of weird shirts, but I see some graphic tees, and she was asking like $2 or $3, and she had just put this stuff up, and boom, we have a vintage My Chemical Romance shirt. I used to love MCR back in the day, middle school era, my emo phase. I had to grab that. I used to have that shirt actually. So I grabbed that. I grabbed this Elton John Farewell tour shirt. I've sold a lot of, like, whenever I do buy clothing, it's usually band or like musical, like, concert shirts, and they always do well. So I grabbed the Elton John shirt. And then I also saw this bloody shirt. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if that's evidence they forgot to remove, but I didn't grab that. I grabbed this old school Lion King shirt. I don't think it's quite vintage, but I think like maybe early 2000s or like early 2010s. How did I not grab that GoldenEye? There was a GoldenEye freaking t-shirt. I'm pretty sure I should have grabbed grab that, but I just left it. A 007 shirt. And then there's also this No Doubt crop top. I decided to grab this one. I don't know if it's vintage or not, but I grabbed it. This one also, I wasn't sure what that even was, but I left it. I just don't know clothing that well, and I don't have a lot of fun with it. It's not usually my interest, so I left a lot of stuff. I did like this Mickey Mouse sweater here. I think actually Karina's gonna take that one. So I grabbed that one. It's a little big, but you know, kind of like a sleep shirt or more like a cold night type of vibe. And then that was all I grabbed. I also saw this Tiltish shirt too, which is a golfing tee, and I'm pretty sure those are worth good money as well too, but you know, it just wasn't interesting to me, so I decided to leave it, but I'm sure it was worth a good amount of money. But I like to stick to the stuff that I enjoy because that's what makes it fun for me. But we went back, we grabbed some Sandy Lion stickers as well. Oh, and there's also an Independence clock there, the skateboard brand, but it looks like it's missing a leg, so I think that it's okay that I left that. Every time I film these, I always look back and I'm like, man, why didn't I grab this? Why didn't I grab that? But it's good because I learn, you know, and it makes me want to pay more attention when I'm filming these videos. But we paid for everything we got there, and we'll add that to our stack of some stuff to check out once we get to a little review point here. Okay, so I was just about to leave, and then I came back because they started putting stuff back on the table. So I had to let them know, like, yeah, sorry, I just, like, won't leave. I keep coming back. But they had these Powerpuff Girl curtains. I found Slinky Dog. There also was these Rocky and Bullwinkle, like, fan pulls. And I was like, you got anything else? You know, you got anything else you're hiding back there? But then she was like, yeah, I think that's it as far as like toys or any of that kind of stuff goes. I also grabbed this bag too. I don't know if Limestone, our friend Limestone Picker here on YouTube, would have wanted it or not, but he loves like movie related stuff like that. So I decided to grab it. It was a Pretty Woman like fanny pack for like the production, I guess, or something like that. So I decided to grab that stuff and load it in the cart.
Okay, so that was a killer first stop. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't really usually do clothing, but you know, it's rare that you ever see stuff like that for like, you know, $2-3. Like that's like garage sale pricing. Typically, especially when it comes to like band t-shirts and stuff like that, people want like, you know, $10, $15, $20. They're not like super vintage, but 2016, 2015, one is early like 2011, that's still pretty old for only $2, $3.
So continuing on, you can see there's a lot of empty spaces here because again, nobody's really set up quite yet. But you will notice right here, this on the table, I was just walking towards this Tasmanian Devil popcorn bucket. So I went over here and just pretended to look at this stuff, this poo and everything. I was more trying to gauge if they were gonna get it, but they're like, oh, it's so cool. Oh, we should get that. And I was like, ugh, because I wanted to grab it, but they just happened to be there first. So I'm just over here eyeballing them on the side. You know, you could see the camera pointing there every now and then. But we see Tommy over here, so we said what's up to Thomas. He's looking at the DVDs. He was like, dang, because he knew I was gonna probably grab some stuff, and he thought he was gonna get the first pickings at everything. But actually there was nothing there that I really was interested in, so it was all him. But I'm over here still eyeballing them. You see them back there? Ryan, zoom in! You see them back there? Looking at the popcorn bucket, they're taking it out of the box. I'm hoping so hard right now that they put it down. So I'm still just like waiting on them.
Ooh, freaking classic right here. I swear, I've seen ones that were like out of box or in box that are worse than this. That's pretty sweet.
And yeah, damn, they freaking bought it. They bought it. I saw that thing was taunting me all day. I don't know how many times it'll appear on camera, but almost everywhere I went, I kept seeing their cart. They weren't even there. It was like their cart was manifesting in front of me with that Tasmanian Devil popcorn maker. I thought it was a water cooler, but it just the status of it was so cool. Like it was so high quality. It was really disappointing, and you will see it taunt me throughout today's video. You'll see it pop up again, I guarantee you. But I went over there to look at the scraps and see if there was anything else left. I wasn't really paying attention when I was over there looking at that Mickey Mouse stuff. I was really just trying to get a gauge of whether they were going to buy it or not. I did look at this Teddy Ruxpin though, and I just, you know, tapped it and made it seem like I was like interested. But in reality, every time I buy Teddy Ruxpin, they're always broken, so I decided to leave it.
Part of me was interested in that Teddy Ruxpin, but every single time I get those things, they're literally broken. Like they don't work. So I think because it has a cassette player in it, cassette players are really fragile, so I left it. Over here, I do not need this, but this is so cool, and it's just too big for me to want to deal with. But this is a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse like bed. It says 15 plus. So I guess you could use it up until 15. That is awesome though.
I didn't grab that bed, but I did also grab this because I saw it on the left here and I was like, Mega Constructs. I've sold a lot of them that were Halo before for good money, Walking Dead too, but the American Girls doll, I'd never seen that before, so I had to find out how much he was asking for it, because, you know, just for obscurity reasons, I thought that it was going to be good. Usually if it's weird, it sells. So I'd never seen something like that, and he said $5 on it. Couldn't have pulled out my wallet fast enough. Well, I mean, I did, because I got it, but, you know, it was pretty slow. But he was really happy with the sale. I was happy. You know, it's always great when that happens. So we threw it in the cart, and we'll check that out very soon here too. So I was just looking over here, I saw like a lot of colors. You know, I'm always looking for the colors. That's the stuff I'm usually looking for. And over there on the left side, I saw side of a Rugrats box. And I already have this set in the collection, but that would have been awesome for the Whatnot stream. So I grabbed the fill here.
Do you have any of the other ones from this, or just this one?
I just sold the other 5.
Okay,
I was
gotcha.
trying to tell the guy I have a 6th one.
So he did have the whole set, but I got there late. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter how early you get there. You can only be at one place at a time. So even if you were there at 4 a.m. and you're at a certain booth, there's somebody over there at 4:45 before you can get there, picking something up at another section of the flea market. So you just try your best. You're always going to miss stuff, though, at the end of the day. And that was kind of the theme of today at the beginning, to be honest. First, it was the Taz, then it was these Rugrats, but at least we got Phil. I paid $10 for it. That's probably what I'm going to ask, like, starting bid for it on my Whatnot stream. It could go up to, like, you know, 15, 20, I don't know. But I sometimes buy items like that because it's just fun. It's something that you don't see every day, and somebody else can add it to their collection. And I just love bringing interesting and fun stuff to the stream. So even at $10, although I would have rather got it for like 5 or 6 so I could make a little bit more on it, I'm okay with doing it just because it's a cool item to bring to make the show fun. And I do that a lot with other items. Like, you'll see some down the line where I'm pretty much selling them for what I paid for them, but it's just so I have some fun stuff to bring. Okay, so we're walking on our way here. We're gonna stop here in a second. You guys are gonna see the booth where we picked up a bunch of that Hello Kitty stuff a while back. There was a whole video where I picked up an amazing amount of Hello Kitty stuff. And we've sold so much of that stuff on our eBay shop, so that was a killer trip, and I'm so glad that we had that opportunity. But a lot of it is actually still left over, but unfortunately the guy is still charging the same price as he kind of was back then. So you can see it all over here. You know, they have this Dora like kit here, but now this stuff has been picked over like 4, 5, 6 times at this point. The stuff that's left is damaged. You know, there's a couple good items there too, but at the price of being basically what they were like the first time it was all out, I just couldn't do it. But I did, you know, kind of just take a little look to see, you know, how things were going. And then you will see our first appearance right there. Look, zoom in. That's the Taz. That's the Taz thing right down there in their cart. But we did see this. I had to grab that quick. They were right there looking at it. I was like, no, I'm not letting that happen again, boy. So I grabbed the Scooby-Doo Mystery Solving Crew box set. That is the box set of the bendable figures from Cartoon Network. You can see the Cartoon Network stamp still on it. I maybe that was a little bit dirty. I'm not gonna lie. I just was like, no, not again. And not for Scooby, okay? I could let it happen for Taz, but Scooby, no, I'm getting it, okay? So I scooped that up real quick, and then we went to look around a little bit more. I found this Lucky from Lucky Charms here. I found this lunchbox from Mork and Mindy.
Looks pretty clean on the inside. It's just not really my style, but it is cool. I grabbed Lucky here, and then a new mystery machine I don't think I have in the collection. You guys know I collect the mystery machines. This one I feel like is pretty old, 1996, so a really early McDonald's or no Burger King toy. And then Mitchell literally texted me about these recently. The Is. I told him, I was like, he was asking me if I remember them, and they had like a full-blown product, but I feel like everybody just remembers these, the McDonald's ones. I had so many of these. I think they used to like make like different sounds depending on where you twisted them. They would glow and stuff like that, but it was just kind of funny that he just mentioned that, and then now they're right here. So I'm gonna take a picture so he can see them.
Okay, so we ended up getting that. Let's go ahead and take a look, do a little update, see where we're at value-wise. We're gonna run through this quick, but somewhere down the line of this video, I'm gonna insert some footage. I'm gonna tell you guys when we get there, but I'm gonna insert some footage from another day at the flea market, a different location, just some amazing stuff that we picked up. And I turned on the camera. I record every single time that I go, but sometimes it's just not worth like putting together, and certain days are and some days aren't. But I'm still gonna add some of the highlight clips of some of those days where just something amazing turned up. That is roughly what I paid for everything that you will see in the video today, and our goal is to try to beat that with our little counter over here as we add these items up. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first item here we have Handy Emmanuel, and this is actually basically contains everything. And you can see on screen here, this one's going for about $50 plus $9 shipping. So we'll just go ahead and go with 50 bucks for the handy manny with all the pieces. I paid 20, so pretty nice value there. And if you were Bob, I probably would keep you, but you're a Disney, so you will be sold, so we can get some, maybe Bob, and maybe we'll get Bob with the money that you know, yield us. Bob was saying yes we can before you said si se pueda. I don't know, probably not. Bob goes for about $15 and Yugi goes for about $5 to $10. I mostly plan to get this one for eBay, and then this one was only $5 too, so not a bad value at all. Overall together though, I'm gonna say $25 in value. Next up, we had TikTok the Clock here. We got him for $3. He sold for $15 plus $15 shipping. There's no way it takes you more than like $6 to ship this, so I'm gonna say $20 for TikTok here. And that was the first item we found at that lady's booth, which yielded us a lot of awesome stuff, like I said. This one sold for $15 with $10 shipping. People just watch out for people like that. It does not cost $10 to ship this. It's like, again, like $6, maybe at the worst case $7 shipping. So I'm gonna go ahead and put probably $20 of value, but let's just go ahead and do 15. And this is something I'll be bringing to my Whatnot stream anyway, but that is the eBay price. I actually have this in my collection too. I just cut the string off of it though, so he was like an actual full-blown Slinky. Okay, so for the t-shirts, they did okay. Some of them were like $20, like this one's like $20. There's that one No Doubt shirt that I got. People are asking like $300 for it, but this one was cut, like it's a cut off shirt, but they did that themselves, so I'm sure that probably hurts it a little bit. I don't know though if it's like an original or not. This is really not my thing. That's why I usually stay out of it, but it's only $2, so I grabbed them. We're just gonna say each shirt is 10 bucks, even though majority of them were going for more than that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5 of them in total, so 50 bucks there. This little Frankenstein guy, yeah, he goes for about 20 bucks and he glows in the dark apparently, which I kind of guessed that. The Sandyline stickers, these go for about $10 a piece. The Horse Stable Mega Construct goes for about 30 bucks. The Phil goes for about $12. The Disney albums go for about 10 bucks a piece. The Homer Simpson goes for about 20. And then some items I can't really price because I'm gonna sell them on Whatnot, and there's not really like enough data accurate to what I will sell them for on Whatnot if I were to go off the eBay prices. Like for example, I couldn't find these Rocky and Bullwinkle fan pulls, but I'm gonna sell them my Whatnot stream, where it's an audience of people that loves animation and nostalgic cartoons just as much as me. So I could suspect these will probably sell somewhere between probably $5 to $10. So we'll just go ahead and put $8 on there for these. And the same thing for the Pocahontas Jacks. I would say somewhere probably between 5 to 10 as well. I did not get a price on the Powerpuff Girl curtains just because I don't know the condition on them yet or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say $10 for both of them. And that's something I'll probably put on Whatnot as well. This Pretty Woman, the little fanny pack, there's none that have sold, so there's no way to get a price. I'm just gonna say $0 in case I went high on anything else. The Sword of Gryffindor goes for about $25. I knew this was gonna be good. Just the weight on it is nice. I have this like theory that sometimes if something is just heavy, like if it looks nice and it's heavy, if you don't even know what it is, a lot of times it's worth like good money. Like it's worth like a good amount. It's just something I just have learned with doing this. Is like if it's heavy, it looks nice, that means it's usually good quality. At least check it out. 8 times out of 10, it usually is like, you know, worth more than what they're asking. And then next up, the freaking Scooby-Doo set. This goes from between $60 to $80. We're just gonna put 60. The Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine set. There is also one that's a little bit newer that's worth a little bit less, but this is one of the older ones from the 90s, so really cool set here. This will probably be up on our eBay shop. I already have these out of box, and my Scooby-Doo collection is more just based off of preference, you know, and like I kind of prefer having a lot of my figures out of the box in my Scooby-Doo collection. They have a couple that are still in box, but most of them are out. It's just for display, and I like the visual aesthetic of having them out of box versus like my Spongebob Nickelodeon collection. A lot of times that is more about preservation along with enjoying it. So I don't really need these, but they are really cool. So 60 bucks on here for the mystery game. Let's go ahead and get right back into the hunt and see what else we found. We have a lot more to go. Okay, so we are back on the road again, or should I say the parking lot. We have a booth over here. I saw a lot of colors. Again, this is one of those booths where I'm always a little hesitant because sometimes they could just price stuff to the moon. So like I don't want to get too excited about anything I see because I don't know if it's something that's going to be in the range of what I can get. So I took a look though anyway. I love that little like wagon that was like freaking like a 6-story wagon for some reason. But there was this little Chip and Dale, and there's also this little tramp here. I thought it was Scamp, but it was actually Tramp. And they were asking, he comes over here, I ask him how much he wants for these, and they wanted $10 for every single plush, so $10 for Chip and Dale individually, so like 20 bucks for them, because realistically they're worth about like $8 each. So $10 is above the online prices for them. I was hoping he was going to say like somewhere between $3 to $5, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, so I couldn't put those down fast enough. Okay, so coming over to this booth, I saw this Harry Potter nightlight. I thought that was pretty cool. It's got the old school like Harry Potter from the books. And then I also saw this little Peanuts waterless snow globe, I guess is what you call it. Really interesting. I looked around, but I don't think I grabbed anything else here. There was like a super old Tigger there, some skateboarding stuff, but nothing that was all that interesting. So I did grab those two, paid for those guys, and headed on out. Okay, so we left that booth and we headed on over to this one. You guys have seen me pick up stuff from them all the time. They always have new stuff, which I love. There was a lot of toys. There was a lot of like, you know, girls toys, modern girls toys. So I went and looked over there a little bit later, but I mostly was focusing on looking for any of the older stuff. I saw they had a bunch of Hot Wheels here, but if you look in the back, right behind this lady and her purse, there's like a bunch of plush, so that's where I'm trying to make it, but she was blocking the whole aisle, and she had a cart with her too, so it's not like I could just say like, oh, excuse me, because like she could not have moved the cart very easily, you know, out the way. It was just the cart was blocking the whole section. That's why I always leave my cart outside, and then I walk through with my body through the aisle, so I'm working around her, you know, bless her heart. I don't think she did it on purpose, but unfortunately I had to work my way back there. But while we were walking over there though, I actually saw this little plush section and we found quite the score. I'm pretty hyped about this item. So looking in here, I thought that dog was Kipper at first, but then I saw this little Kermit here from Namco, and look at this right behind these plush, this tiny little Mr. Krabs keychain from Ty. These are super rare. This will of course be getting added in this collection. I have never seen one of those before, so the keychain for Mr. Krabs, I got to add that. And then they also have like this Mickey Mouse, a few other items. I was still just, like I said, trying to make my way back there to those plushies, but yeah, I was so hyped to grab that Mr. Krabs. What a find. But then I saw this big bag of plush that I finally got to make it to, and the lady right here, she tells me I can just go ahead and rip them open, and we just started looking. And first thing I'm grabbing is this Sonic Boom plushie here. They are super hard to find anything from Sonic Boom, so instantly grabbed it.
Is this one you're looking for?
I want it.
Okay. You wanted this one? Okay, gotcha.
And yeah, the kid took the Sonic Boom plushie. You know, I just let him have it. So you saw I paid for all that stuff. You guys saw some of the stuff I grabbed. I picked up everything there. It was not like a ton of stuff, but a few items. I'm really glad I got the mud kip there. The little Grinch was nice too. So we'll check out all that stuff together. But we did not end here because we actually found a few more items at this booth on our way out. This booth is always huge. They have so much. I think they have like 3 spaces because it is massive. So we found some more on our way out.
This is very like 2011, 2012 when like the geek fashion kind of was in for a bit. He's missing a little stitch right here, but other than that, he is so crazy cool. And they also have the cooking with Pooh cookie cutters. I was just about to leave, but I had to come look over on this side because I'm still looking for the possibility that they had more than that Mr. Krabs, and there's like the Patrick, the Spongebob keychain, the Squidward one, even crazier would be. This Pokemon cup's pretty cool too. Very like a lot of 2000, like 2010 stuff right now I'm seeing. I see a Lola region on that cup. So we have a little Tangela here, spin top. Penguins of Madagascar, a little water squirter. This is a book set, The World of Pooh and the World of Christopher Robin. That is really cute. We're grabbing that too. The Wizard of Oz 10, like it's one of the items where it could look expensive, so I could see it being charged up. But we're gonna grab it just in case and see if we get it for a good deal. Winnie the Pooh A to Z. I love Winnie the Pooh stuff so much, but I'm picking up too much, I think, right now. And this is like an actual freaking bull skull? Maybe a cow? I'm not even sure. Either way, really gross.
Okay, so we're gonna interrupt real quick to introduce the Comfort Cartoons multiverse. This is an alternate dimension where I actually found some other stuff on a different point in the timeline that wasn't this day. So that way you guys can see some of the other awesome finds that we get in other dimensions at different points in the timeline. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so we're working our way there now. So we are on the path of it. You guys may recognize this flea market as the one that I found the Game Sphere from Jake and Josh with my mom. This is that flea market in particular. So I saw all of this like art on the floor there, and usually it's always old paintings and stuff that I'm just not really interested in. But I saw the mouse, and that is it. The Chuck E. Cheese mouse. This was in the Chuck E. Cheese Showtime Theater back in the day. So these two guys were here looking at it, and I was sweating bullets, man. I was about to fight these old guys. So I was like, I'm gonna go ask for the price so I can see how much it is before I get ready to make a move on these guys. So he asked $70 for the freaking Chuck E. Cheese sign. I've like been wanting to get a Chuck E. Cheese item in the collection for a long time. One of my items like outside of Nickelodeon Cartoon Network, just like a memorabilia like icon of my childhood was Toys R Us and Chuck E. Cheese. Had so many birthdays, so many awesome celebrations of not even just my birthdays, but friends' birthdays at Chuck E. Cheese. It was always such a fun event going to Chuck E.'s. And I remember that particular art being up at Chuck E. Cheese in my Showtime Theater. I doubt it's the same one, because here in Southern California, we have a lot of Chuck E. Cheese locations, so it could be, but unlikely. So I remember seeing that or one of the other color variants of that particular art in my Showtime Theater as a kid. So it was just I was trying to play it cool, but an unbelievable moment. One of my favorite finds of this entire year. But that wasn't it on this day. I was just here to film that Spongebob pickup, and then we ended up finding an awesome Pokemon pickup as well. Okay, so this is where the next pickup was. Again, I was just working my way out of here. I really was not here to find all this action, but walked on in here. I spotted Urkel from a distance. I don't know why. That was the only thing that made me come over here. I saw this little Charmander binder, and yes, you guys saw that base set holographic Charizard right at the front. 2 Ancient Mews. It was a pretty small binder, and there's actually pages that were stuck together you could not see there. There were several holos in there. I counted about 15 different holographic cards in there from the base set and fossil and jungle era. As I'm flipping through the pages, I didn't realize at the time like 2 or 3 pages were stuck together. So I asked him how much he wanted for it. He also was selling this binder with it.
Can you work with me a little bit and do 150?
Give me 175. That's working with you.
165? Meet in the middle?
Give me 175.
170. All right, appreciate it, man. Let me go to the ATM real quick. I'll give you a deposit so you can hold it for me. I'll be right back. Let's see, so I owe you what? 150? Gotcha. 150. We said.
So as I was walking away, he said 155, and I was like, no, we said 170. I've worked hard to save that $5. So I negotiated him down to 170 from 200. And the reason why I was so like adamant about that was because the rest of the car, like I'm really just gambling this. So the rest of the holos in there, they are base set unlimited holos, not first edition. And although people think when they see old holographic Pokemon cards are just worth all this money, there are some, but the unlimited ones, if they're not like in PSA 9 or up condition, they're not worth a ton, like, you know, $10, $15, $20, unless they're like your big hitters like Dragonite or Charizard or Blastoise. You know, these were like, you know, Voltorb, Vileplume, stuff like that. And I also didn't know how many holos were in there because I didn't actually see all the cards. I was going based off of what I saw, and the Charizard in there goes for about 150. So I was buying the Charizard, really. That's really what I was paying for in my mind. And the binder is worth about 20 to 30. So I was like, okay, like if I put those two things together, that's 170. And then whatever I can get from the extra cards, that's just a bonus. And I plan to get the Charizard graded at PSA. I grade a lot of my cards, so I was like, I'm just gonna send this in with my next order. And if it comes back like a 7, you know, it could be worth like 300. If it comes back an 8, it could be like 400, 500, something like that. A 9, we're looking at like $1,000. A 10, we're looking at like 4,000. I don't think it's gonna be a 10. I think it's probably gonna be, if I'm lucky, a 7. Worst case scenario, it gets like a 5 or a 6, and it's worth like, you know, what I paid for it. But I'm gambling that I can get at least a 7, and then it'll be like a $400 card. So that's kind of what I went with on that, and that mindset on that one. That's why I was like trying to get it for 170, because I knew that's how much the Charizard was going to be worth, basically. So we're able to pull that off. Awesome. He told me that he paid less than that for the whole locker because it was like, I guess he just got lucky on it. So he already made all his money back on me, that Charizard. so really good deal. But that is it on this time in the timeline. And when I get the Charizard back, if I remember, I'll share with you guys what grade it gets here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. But going back into the portal, into another time dimension. Okay, so this was at the flea market that we were at in the current timeline. And it was a different day though that I wasn't filming. I wasn't planning on filming. And I turned the camera on and immediately it was into the action. So I'm just setting it up for you guys right now. A booth that is not always there, they sell collectibles, was there on this day, and they had some amazing classic Nickelodeon action figures as well as something else that kind of shocked me. So let's play the footage.
Okay, so they have the Jimmy here with Goddard still on the card. I love it, absolutely fire. Goddard is actually one of the ones that's tougher to find. Nick you do see pretty often, but heck, I'm not gonna leave Nick behind. So 20 bucks for each of them, so it's 40. And then we're also gonna grab Stewie right here as well for 15. That is a sweet pickup, and it's got Rupert there with the gun in the middle. All right, we're grabbing this too. All right, I'll take these and we keep looking around too. Have the Johto League champions here with the Whitney battles in there, as well as the little Boo's little doll. Unfortunately, looks like the little horn here has been ripped, but other than that, it's still pretty sweet. There you go, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Enjoy, man.
Okay, Mucha Lucha, are you kidding me? Come on. I love Mucha Lucha, so as soon as I saw that they had that, I really wanted that. And then also below that, we'll put a shot on screen for you guys. They had a K&D figure set of all the different kids from number 1 to 5 for Kids Next Door. But he was not selling that one because I guess it was for his brother, and his brother was like, yeah, he's gonna be pissed if he sells it. So he did not sell me that, but the Mucha Lucha he did sell me. He paid 40, I paid him 60. It was going for about 70, and I didn't care about like how much I could like sell it for or anything, because that's for me. That is in my cartoon variety room already. It had the Flea in it, awesome package, and just to be able to say I found a sealed Mucha Lucha item out there in the wild, that alone was worth it for me. So I just was glad that I was able to get a little discount off of the online price. So that's in the cartoon variety room, and what an awesome pickup. We got freaking Nick, we got Goddard, we got Mucha Lucha, we picked up Wendy and Casper, the sealed Pokemon VHS, and we're not going to add that to the value here because it's a separate different kind of thing. And I did already sell almost all of that stuff except for the Wendy that I'm going to keep at least throughout the Halloween season, and I also kept, of course, the Mucha Lucha stuff. And the Goddard and Nick I sold because, as you guys know, I already have them in the collection. It was just an interesting item and fun item to bring to my Whatnot streams, and we sold them over there as well. Okay, and we have one more interdimensional travel before we get back to the current timeline. Boom!
So this is the SpongeBob N-Power DVD player. Pretty uncommon.
I'm trying to play it cool there, but are you kidding me? A freaking SpongeBob DVD player that's like a more close to like, that's like Yellow Label era. You never see that.
This had the little plastic on it this whole time, so that's going to be clean. Really, I think everything here will clean up besides a couple little scrapes here, but man, if we can get it for a good price, I'm cool with it.
And then I'm going to say, please 20 bucks, please 10 bucks, please 10 bucks.
Let's say 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, please 10 bucks. What's up, Albert?
Hey, man.
How much for this one?
No, he's asking 10 bucks, Marcus.
10 bucks?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yes, this is awesome. It is so hard to find this stuff. This is again from the N-Power line. They made a bunch of electronics, like cameras, little digital picture frames, a bunch of weird items like that. But the DVD player, they also made this TV screen that we have in here too. One of the other monitors, it's on screen here for you guys right now. It's actually made to go on top of this DVD player or like next to this DVD player. But yes, this is a really, really tough one to find. Super Fruity Gear Metro retro, I believe this is called. Like very like 2005, 2006. I think this came out 2007. I'm so pumped to be able to add this to the collection. Again, we are not going to add the value of this because it is in case of our interdimensional timeline travel. But just an amazing piece to add to the collection here. And now we will have to stop this timeline hopping and we will get back to present day. Okay, so we're on the other side here. I found our first booth here. They had all these really interesting looking bins. So we started looking in and I found an item or two, I want to say. So I did grab this Tigger you can see in my hand right here. It's got the tag on it too. Very cool. That was like a promising find. So I thought I was going to find more in there, but I don't think I really did see anything after this. Okay, so then I saw this Mario down there. We can crop in on the Mario. I saw that and I got my attention. I went over here and we found quite a few awesome items in this booth. So you can see all the toys everywhere. I knew this was for me. I looked around though, and then I also grabbed this weird little like rainbow monkey looking thing. I wasn't sure what it was, but I also grabbed this Pink Panther little like hand puppet. But this right here was one of the coolest things I ever saw. It's like this real, like it almost feels real, but very, very high quality, like fake leather Scooby with a pocket on it. I'm not even sure what it is actually, but I thought it was amazing. So I grabbed that. And the Pink Panther, the reason why I ended up grabbing that, oh, I also grabbed Chip and Dale too. So I grabbed I grabbed Dale as well. So I put those items down because I was going to ask him for the price on that Scooby first, just to get an idea of where he was at. But that Pink Panther that I grabbed, I always grab those like big puppet type figures because people use them on their golf clubs all the time and they can sell for really good money. And plus Pink Panther's awesome too, and it's also animated. So I wanted to get that, but it wasn't the only thing we grabbed here. I kept picking up this rainbow monkey thing. I don't know why. I just was like, man, this looks like something, but I couldn't put my finger on it. The Hello Kitty, I've sold those so many times. I was just like, I felt like the price he was going to give me was about what it goes for. So I decided to finally ask him for the Pink Panther and the Dale, what he was asking for.
Could you do 10 for this one? I'll take this one too. Okay, perfect. So that's 15, 20, so 25. Appreciate it.
So I paid the man, and right as I started walking away, I saw some other stuff I was interested in. I love that he had Jerry there in a cage. But I saw the Cars Pizza Planet truck. So I love collecting Pizza Planet trucks too. So I grabbed this one as soon as I could. The Cars official one with the eyes and everything. So cool. He only wanted $2 for it. Heck yeah. I just couldn't make my way out of here because I just kept seeing stuff I was interested in. So down here, I saw these two Loud House sisters. I want to say like Rocky or something Loud, and then Lucy or Lori Loud. Two of the Loud House sisters. I was a Nickelodeon collector. The Loud House is undeniably an awesome show and super successful. So I did want to pick them up if I can get them for cheap. And I think I paid about $1 each for both of them. So I decided to grab them as well.
And these two, man? 5? Okay.
Okay, so then right there my camera died, so you saw everything that I grabbed there. This Scooby thing, I'm super interested in finding out what this actually is. If you guys know what this is, let me know in the comments down below. Like, I'm assuming it's like some kind of like maybe a couch armrest, like remote control holder, but it seems like, and it's weighted, but I don't know if it's enough weight to where it wouldn't just always fall off. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. So this booth is in the same way. You can see I'm turning my camera on there, my hand's blocking it, but there was a lot of people here, and I was like, okay, I mean, this looks like it's pretty popular. I don't want to miss on, miss whatever's going on over here, so let's take a look.
This is actually really uncommon. The Spongebob Tupperware container. I just don't want to separate it, but I don't really want all these beads, but pretty cool to see. It needs to be cleaned up. The Mystery Machine 10 with the spinning wheels, very cool.
Okay, keeping it pushing here, I moved on to the next aisle. We're getting towards the end here, unfortunately, but we did still find some pretty amazing stuff towards the end. I saw these big $1 signs. He had 3 rows where everything was $1, and that is practically putting a sign up that says, Marcus, this way. $1, I will always stop to see what you got. This right here is the Five Below pinball machine. I'm just gonna give this away. It's brand new sealed. They cost $5 at Five Below. It's $1 here, so I mean it's even cheaper than that. This little Winnie the Pooh Christmas 1999 plush. He's a little dirty, but he can wash up for sure. $1, grabbing it. I looked around, I didn't see a whole lot left, but I was still gonna check it out. 2 items already for $1 is not bad at all. For the fact that you can spend $5 and get, you know, 5 awesome things, you know, is pretty incredible. So I'm not gonna show that Pooh because it is in the washer machine right now. I'm just gonna say it goes for roughly around $10. And then also the Scooby from the last booth, that is also in the washer right now, so I can't really check on it, but I'm gonna say also $10 probably. That's like a usual average, generic average plushies, so like 10, 15 bucks around there. I'm gonna keep going like this. I don't know, my head's bobbing so much. Okay, so keeping it moving here, I found a familiar item you may have seen like once or twice at least in videos recently. So we'll pull up on that right now.
See, it's one of those things. I tried to get this so many times, but it was overpriced, and then now it should have just sold it to me for the $8.
Okay, so as we get towards the end here, you're gonna see more and more booths where I just pick up like one item. So sorry if it's a little bit jumpy and we're just like, you know, it's a little bit slower in this spot because there's just not a lot of like, you know, whole booth action. I did pick up at this booth right here. I saw this Mickey and Minnie like sugar jars, but I also saw this little Donald from Disneyland. It is like a popcorn bucket, I'm pretty sure. So I decided to get this one. He was asking only $3. He said earlier in the day they had a bunch of them, but unfortunately I got there a little late. Like I said, you can only be one place at a time, but we did grab Donald.
I'm glad I at least got that one. Donald's my favorite.
Oh, all right.
Alright, so we are heading out of this one, but I think I'm gonna go one more flea market. This one was pretty good, I would say, but I do have a little extra time because we didn't spend as much time as we typically do, so I figure we might as well go to the other one and just see what they have.
Okay, so we have pulled in here now, so I'm trying to like clear out one bag so I have at least one bag at the flea market because you know, you never know what you're gonna find, so I'm clearing this out. And then we are going to be making our way on the long walk to the flea market. That's the only reason why I don't like going to this flea market is the walk itself from the parking lot to there is so long because there is a closer parking lot, but it's always packed. So I just park here to just save myself the frustration and anguish. So let's walk 1,000 miles. Over here I started grabbing some stuff. The first item I grabbed was this shadow here. You guys know I collect my shadow plushes and figures. That's a little bit of an older one too. And I also grabbed this blue, still brand new with the tag. They were asking $5 for blue and $3 for shadow. They had a Robotnik too, but it was a little bit beat up. And then also a Sonic, but you know, we see Sonic all the time. And the prices were a little higher on those. So I did grab our little blue here and also the shadow that you saw there. After we paid for that, we're trying to move fast because, you know, like it's already late in the day, so I want to make sure we grab the stuff that we need to and stuff that's awesome while it's still there on the shelves, you know. There were some plushes here, but nothing that yielded anything, you know, awesome. I did spot this Universal Studios popcorn bucket. I believe it has Woody the Woodpecker driving on it. So I was looking over here first, but it's right there on the right. You can kind of see it. But then I went and grabbed it, and I don't think you could see what's on it, but like my hand, oh, right there, that stuff. Ryan, did you see that stuff? I touched that stuff right there, and it was wet and sticky, and it made me want to throw up, so I just walked away. This guy over here handed me this thing. They sell coffins, and they always hand me that, and it makes me feel really old for some reason. Like, why would I need a coffin? Like, I'm freaking barely turned 30. Why would I need a freaking coffin? But yeah, they always hand them to me, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. You know, I'm still, as far as I can see, art still, yeah, being Even though I already own a coffin, actually. But I just own that for, I don't know, I'm weird, I guess, and it works good for Halloween. This guy had a bunch of free comic books from Free Comic Book Day. Obviously, they're not really worth anything just because they're from Free Comic Book Day, but I still wanted to take a look because there are a couple SpongeBob ones that are pretty good. And yeah, it's kind of slim pickings, you know, it's the end of the day, but I know we did find some stuff, so that's why we're carrying the footage over here. Otherwise, I would have just cut it, so I know we found some stuff. So this booth over here, they can sometimes charge up a little bit too, so I was like, yeah, we'll take a look and see what they got. But I actually found some dope stuff here. We actually found these 2 packs. You can see these 2, like on the left there, I grabbed these 2 little like sealed promo cards. These are Pokemon Build-A-Bear exclusive cards. They had this Penny Proud too, but it was from the Louder and Prouder series, which is cool, but I'm just not really as interested in it. So I left that Penny Proud. I wanted to check out the Build-A-Bears because I honestly thought they might charge me like $10 each on them, because some people, they're reasonable on Pokemon, some people they go crazy. So I pretended to scan this this Simon Says here. I didn't really want the Simon Says, but they kept looking at me, and if I look at the price, often I notice they raise the price. So I wanted them to think I was looking at the Simon thing and not the cards. I just wanted to know, so that way I made sure I didn't overpay for them, you know. I would have probably paid $10 for them having known what they were, but she gave me them both for $5. So I was like, heck yeah, let's go. Alright, so moving it on here, it's really tough when it's just like 1 or 2 items like this, because it's like you just don't know if like, should I leave, should I stay? I looked for this Mario game, there was nothing in it, but this booth actually had some good stuff, so I'm glad I kind of stuck around a little longer. Like, I was debating just heading home, but man, am I glad that I at least looked through a couple more booths, because I would have missed this section here. So behind this man with the surfboard, that's actually the guy in the other dimension that we bought the Chuck E. Cheese sign from. What is he doing in this dimension? That doesn't make any sense. So they had this really long leg Elmo here, which is the longest legs, but a brand new talking Scooby here. These go for about 30 bucks. And this guy always has great prices. So talking Scooby we grabbed. There also was this Tasmanian Devil mug, like coffee mug from the 90s. Grabbed him. A couple of these dinosaurs too from Jurassic Park. And if they're a good price, you can always sell these guys for a good amount too, anywhere between like $10 to $20. So I knew he was probably going to ask like $3 to $5, so I was like, heck, why not? But the goods kept coming from this booth. So I looked in this little container here. It had a bunch of like meal toys, and I never not look at meal toys because there's some banger meal toys out there. So I wanted to take a look. I put this stuff to the side. I found this little Winnie the Pooh that like you squeeze and he pops out of the honey pot. Absolutely adorable. Brought the container a little closer so that you could take a look. I don't know if you guys will be able to see everything, but there was some SpongeBob stuff in there. I grabbed this little Homer Simpson like woo figure. This guy came, the seller actually came and gave me another dinosaur. He's like, hey, take this one too. I was so close to buying this freaking Tai Lung as well from Kung Fu Panda, but the mold just was not that great. I just really want a Tai Lung figure though, so I almost got it, but nah. There's this little Dora in here. This was the item I was hyped for because I had never seen this before, but apparently it was a part of the whole Burger King line at Kids Choice Awards 2009 line. We grabbed Jake the Monkey from My Gym Partner's a Monkey, and there's also this little Mantine plushie from Pokemon as well. So I threw it away at that moment, but I actually ended up grabbing that Mantine. The SpongeBob figures, they were pretty beat up, and I already have those in the collection, but the Mantine I thought was really cute, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get him. Okay, so I paid $15 for everything there. I also grabbed this Gus Gus as well, this little squishmallow of him from Cinderella. Very, very cute, and was surprisingly clean too, so was happy to grab that. 15 bucks for everything there, and just this Scooby was worth that. So an amazing freaking deal. I love going to that booth. It's the same guy from the other dimension that we got the Chuck E. Cheese sign. Like I said, come on, this guy's the freaking GOAT. So keeping it moving, I was like, yes, let's go. Okay, the fire is out here. We can't give up. Let's keep looking. And we found some other awesome finds. These two are in the washer too though, so I'm not gonna show them, but you know, I never could leave this guy behind, of course. Okay, so after we left Mr. Han, we also found one more item before we headed out of here. And I think that was the last item of the day. I want to say at least. Maybe we got one more. I'm not sure, but I think this might be one of the last ones. So I was looking around. There's a lot of toys, but this was all very, very modern toys. You know, old enough to not be pricey because it's new and people want it, but also not old enough to be worth anything. That kind of era. But what I did like was this phone right here. I've been really into phones recently. I found some really expensive phones the last few weeks. And this one was one of the ones that I just like, this is dope. It's a transparent phone, very Y2K. They're super in right now. And apparently what's also in is people just talking on the phone. Like, that's coming back. People just not texting, not FaceTiming, but just talking on a landline phone is kind of in vogue right now. So a lot of phones are getting really expensive. So this one I went ahead and looked it up as well too. It goes for about 40 to 50 bucks. He wanted 20, I took it. And then for our last find of the day, I actually picked up this awesome Spongebob toy from Target, I believe. I think they cost like $50 at Target. She was asking 30. I offered her 25, and she was like, yeah, sure. I think they buy them through like liquidation. If they're like Target, if they don't sell stuff like fast enough, they will clearance it sometimes. But if you never noticed, there's never as much stuff on clearance at like Target versus like Walmart or like FYE, Hot Topic, where they lower their prices slowly until it sells. Like, you can find stuff that, like, you know, you can find shirts that are like $3, $4 if you go to that back clearance section at Hot Topic. Target never does that really, because they usually liquidate their stuff out to like companies, like people like that buy them for wholesale from like, you know, the flea markets, or they even donate to Target because it's about like image, you know, so they don't want you to come in the store and see everything's on clearance, because then you're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna wait for this new item to then be this old item and be on clearance. So they often sell stuff out for very, very cheap just to avoid their customers seeing their items at a low price, unfortunately. So you would have never seen that Spongebob for like $10 at Target, but that's probably what she paid for it, because, like, you know, buying it wholesale. So yeah, I was super hyped to be able to grab that Spongebob for only $25. Super, super cute. And that was our last pickup there. So let's go ahead and check out our last items here and see what the overall value is, and then we will get our grand total and see what we ended up with our total profit by the end of this. Okay, so for the Scooby, like I said, 30 bucks, easy. The phone, I found out another reason why this phone in particular is really popular. Apparently, it's a part of a Netflix show called Babysitter's Club, which I think, if I'm guessing it's based off of the books that we used to have in like the 90s and 2000s. I'm not sure, but there's a show called Babysitter Club, and like the promotional pictures and the main phone they use is this one exactly right here, actually. So weirdly enough, that is possibly one of the reasons it's popular. In fact, in a lot of people's listings, they have that in the title. So this guy goes for about $60. Pink Panther goes for about 20. Baloo goes for about 10. Gus Gus goes for about 10. And some of these are based off of my whatnot prices, just because there's not enough data on some of them. This guy right here, I could not find Scooby exactly. There was one person that had it listed for 60 and it had a bunch of watchers, but couldn't find one sold. There was Looney Tunes ones that were sold for about 20, 25. So I assume if that guy lowered his price, probably would be around 20, 25. Donald here is about 20. These little Pokemon like guidebooks here are actually about $6 to $10 each, just because they're so old, and people that can't afford the cards or the packs, you know, at least it's something to kind of showcase that art. The Taz Cup, about $10. The Webkins, let's do zero value. There wasn't a lot of sold on these at all. I just thought it was interesting. The Pooh, zero value as well. I think it's probably about 5 to 10 bucks, but I couldn't find it. This chip, I knew this one was going to be good because I sold the Gidget from this set for over $100 once. This guy goes for about 20 though. Chip and Dale are the most common, but these hard head plush figures from the 80s are actually the ones that are pretty popular and pretty expensive compared to the rest of the Chip and Dale plushies. The Two's Dinosaurs, this one right here seems to go for anywhere from like 20 to 30 bucks. So we're gonna do 20 for this one, and then this one goes for about 10. The two Loud House characters go for about $8 each, 16. The whistle I couldn't find by itself, so we're gonna go with 0, but just an amazing pickup. I love this. The Pizza Planet truck from Cars, about $17 to $20. All these little meal toys as well, like 2, 3, you know, $5 to $10, but we're just gonna put 0 value. The Tigger goes for about $10. The Shadow goes for about, well, guess, $10. The regular show DVD, about $5 to $10. Alakazam Pokemon coin goes for about $20. You know, only Pokemon could you find this little tiny plastic coin, and it goes for $20. That's worth more than an actual coin, weirdly enough. And this guy right here goes for about $20 to $25. So that is our grand total on screen here. I think we did pretty good. I don't know for sure, but I feel like we did. We did not include some items that I had over there in the washer, and we also put 0 value on a few items as well. So I think our number could be even higher, but that's a very generous number. We'll consider all those extra items no value just in case I went high on anything else. I hope you guys enjoyed this flea market video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here so you guys do not miss the next one. I try to do one at least every week or two, sometimes even more than that. We've been doing like up to 1 to 2 a week recently, so I hope you guys have been enjoying those. We've been putting a lot of work into them. I know you guys love them. If you guys want to support this show further, keep me making these videos for years to come, you can become a member right here on YouTube or also on our Patreon for as little as $2 or $3 a month. That is cheaper than a bottle of soda, and it helps keep this channel running. It helps support a small business, and I really appreciate it. So if you guys are interested, that information's down below as well. You get extended versions of videos of every single video that I upload here on Patreon as well, and on both of those you get videos that are not available anywhere else. So that information is down below. You can also check out my Whatnot stream, where many of these items that you see today will likely end up on my Whatnot stream, and you can end up picking them up for a great deal or even get them for free if you use the $15 coupon that you get for free when you sign up using my link down below, as well as you get to enter all my giveaways if you use that link. So check it out down below, guys. I'll see you guys in this video right over here that I know you're gonna love. And as always, Rat Pack, I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios and bloop.